Whoa, you caught me doing some cardistry there, man. Really need to quit. So for this particular trick, it's a good one. It's definitely a good one. It's one of my favorites, and it's something that you could do for 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. I would keep it to 3 or 4 to make it more impressive. However, it could still work with 2 people, but you would really have to squeeze out all your potential performance juice out of it. So for this particular trick, you have 4 spectators lined up in front of you, just like back in the good old days when you would the Al Capone, which so this spectator calls stop anytime they want. So let's say they call stop right over here. You go, that's a great place, sir. And this spectator takes a card, as does this spectator, as does this spectator, as does that spectator, until all 4 of them have cards. So each card is remembered by the corresponding spectator. So in this case, that one's remembered by this one is remembered by that one, this one is remembered by this one, and lastly, this one remembers this one over here. You turn away, obviously, throughout this entire procedure, making sure that you can't even peek at the cards, and you have the spectators gather the card and mix them up each. So each spectator is mixing up the cards, or you can have one handy helper spectator mix up the cards for you. So the spectators are mixing up the cards as you've instructed them, and you're going to turn to each spectator and try to figure out which card corresponds to them. So here, in this case, we have the 3 of clubs. Sir, I don't want you to tell me if that's your card, but I just want you to look at it and see if you could gauge a reaction here. Let me see if I could gauge a reaction. Sir, I want you to do the same. I want you to do the same, and you to do the same. You know what? I feel like this card is most attributed to this spectator. Of course, you hand it to the right spectator, which happens to be the first one here. So they go their merry way, and they're happy. The next card, Queen of Hearts. Sir, take a look at it. You too, sir. You too, sir. I want you all to say at the same time, that's not my card. So they all say, that's not my card at the same time, and you hand it to the second spectator because, of course, that's their card. That's the hot trick here. So this last one here is the 5 of Hearts. The 5 of Spades. I don't know what I'm on, but you show this card to all the spectators, and this time it's a visual test. So you have the spectators each look at you in the eyes, and of course, you hand this card to the corresponding spectator almost immediately. And now, of course, you wouldn't be surprised because there's one spectator left, so it wouldn't make much sense if you could just go, hey, here's your card, sir. So this time you just offer to psychically pick up the card here. Oh, 7 of diamonds. It's a 7 of diamonds, and of course, you're correct. Oh boy, so much production value. So much production value that you squeezed in just based on knowing what these cards are. That's it. That's the secret. That's a secret. So here you are doing a nice little variation of a wonderful psychometry routine by Larry Becker. Larry Becker is a wonderful mentalist and magician, and he has a very classic now psychometry routine that he's put out where he does this same technique but with slates. So he does it as a design duplication at the end, meaning that he's able to pick up 4 drawings and he hands the drawings to the right corresponding spectators, and the last one he's able to replicate without us seeing it. Now, of course, his technique uses a peek. You don't need to use that peek using this particular technique because you already know what the cards are. That's the secret. So these cards are a little bit of a group that you've memorized beforehand. These are cards that correspond to a stack that I've memorized years ago, so why not use them? So it's very important that you know the cards and the order that they're in. So in this case, top card is the 3 of clubs. Next one is the Queen of Hearts. Next one is the 5 of spades. And then the last one is the 7 of diamonds. So that's what you need to know. That goes on top of whatever deck you want. That gets false shuffled and mixed in front of the spectator. And now all you have to do is force those cards. So you could very simply do a riffle force if you want. So let's say you have 4 spectators in front of you. You're going to riffle force. I don't know why I got a face-up card there, but you're going to riffle force to one particular spectator and say, sir, call stop anytime you want. Of course, you're going to force that spot on the spectator. I shouldn't have to explain the riffle force, but just in case, I have a break right there. You see that hot break? I turn to the spectator, riffle down the length of the deck, wherever they call stop. Let's say they call stop there. It doesn't matter because I'm lifting up at the break. That's the I'm lifting up at my break, not at their break. So that's the riffle force here. If you want, you could use the dribble force if you're feeling particularly saucy. However, the riffle force you could do just as easily. So here, they call stop. You're going to lift up at your break and offer that card to them. Offer the next card to the spectator. Offer the next card and the next card. So, of course, you're handing them each and every single card in your stack in the order that they correspond. You ask the spectator to please remember the cards that they got. So in this case, this spectator is remembering the 3. The next spectator is remembering the queen. The next spectator is remember the 5. And then the last spectator is remembering the 7. You could have them all come together and have one particular person mix up the cards and then hand them to you. Just like this. So they mix them up and then they hand them back to you. You don't change the order. And here it's dependent on your presentational ability. That's what's going to happen here. So you could put these cards on the table and you could turn them over one at a time. Of course, you know that the Queen of Hearts is the second card in your stack, so therefore it would correspond to the second spectator. Same with the 3, you know that it would correspond to the first spectator. And in this case, the next card is the 7, which corresponds to the 4th spectator. So in this case, we're left with one card on the table. And because you've memorized these cards, guess what? You know that this last card is a 5 of spades. So you could reveal it to the spectator, to the last spectator, as however you want. So you could reveal it as a psychic feeling. You could reveal it as them telling you through poker tells, you know, say it in your head over and over, like 5 of spades, 5 of spades. Oh, that was your card? How did I know that? Or whatever obnoxious thing you want to say. But here you have a nice little bit of a card psychometry routine that's fairly simple to do, fairly easy. And all you need to do is just memorize 4 cards. Memorize 4 cards and force them. And I think you're capable of that. I think you're well capable of that particular feat. Man, you guys get the good stuff. That was really good. That was really good. Thank you guys for being piggybackers. I really do appreciate it. And you guys definitely appreciate it too. I read those comments. Y'all like, hey man, there's some good stuff. Some good stuff. So I hope to see you on the next one. Hope to see you guys on the next one.